Okay, so we've caught up with Chris Rozdilsky from PowerWatts, and Chris is one of the owners and runs the operation in Montreal, which is kind of like the hub for PowerWatts. Is that all correct, Chris?
Exactly, yeah.
So it's a big day for you guys, having a center in Toronto as well now. And tell us about some of the background of PowerWatts and what's brought you here today.
Basically, we started with a small center in Montreal, and it's a development over the years with Polo, and we just integrated into a turnkey system that we're now expanding into other locations. But basically, the essentials are it's like we were training the highest level athletes. It's just kind of a condensed version. The training's the same, it's just a more condensed version.
So the center here is a smaller piece of the pie than what you have in Montreal, so to speak.
Yep.
So how big is the center in Montreal?
It's not very big as far as size. It's pretty unique. It's the same platform that we have here. Mm-hmm. Same exact platform. 8-rider system, the touchscreen. It's the same.
So it operates more or less the same. So how many athletes are coming through the center in Montreal now?
I've lost track, actually. Quite a bit. I think pretty diverse group of athletes. Mm-hmm. We have everybody from divers to skiers, downhill skiers, freestyle skiers, short track speed skaters, hockey players. We had NHL groups this summer. Really, I think any athlete can benefit from it, especially the big power sport athletes that have their body's always under big load all year in their sport. Mm-hmm. Now, using the bike as a mode for fitness without the stress, they're making huge gains. So they could actually train in their sport and work really hard on the bike without the overall, the stress isn't very much on their body. Okay, so it's not like running, or if you're doing sprint training, you can't do sprint training 6 days a week. Your body's going to fall apart. But you could actually train 6 days a week on a bike without that much residual load on your body. So, yeah.
So how many people from the general public, I guess, are using the facility in Montreal? Are there quite a few?
I would say 95% of the people are general public. Mm-hmm. The interesting thing is we often have an Olympic medalist thrown in with a group of average Joes, and that's what makes it pretty interesting.
Sure.
And our center is, a lot of times, a high-performance center is isolated from the public. With ours, everybody's together. So that's pretty unique, because often, like I said, it's pretty isolated. The Olympic athletes train in one center, the general public trains in another. So ours is one group, and it's kind of one family, and then they can interact with whatever. So it's pretty.
That
unique.
Is very unique. I mean, I was saying to Steve when I interviewed him that with this center here now in Toronto, that if people come from the general public, could they run into SpiderTech athletes? And of course, he said yes if they're here.
Yeah.
And so that's of course the same thing's happening in Montreal.
Yep.
So I mean, when you talk about Olympic athletes, of course, we know that Clara Hughes is somebody that you coach, and so and she uses the center. So obviously, people could meet one of Canada's top Olympians, at the center.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Clara. She's just joined a new team, and Lululemon, and that's a very exciting, specialized Lululemon. It's a very exciting development. What can you share with us about Clara?
There's many things to her. I mean, how we approach this is she's trying to push her limits. She's trying to do something that's very, very difficult. First of all, coming from another sport, even though she was a cyclist in the past, just transferring your body from a speed skater to a cyclist is super difficult. I think she likes to be challenged. So it's a huge goal. It's like enormous goal, and I think the public doesn't realize how big it is and how difficult it is of what she's trying to do. But that's what motivates her. It motivates me too. It's a huge challenge. So once you have that goal, once you have that challenge, then you kind of you have to evaluate where you are, where you need to improve, everywhere from fitness to therapy to equipment. You know, do you need the support of a team to get you to the best races, etc., etc. So I think the decision to get to Lululemon Specialized team was essentially race against the best in the world in the biggest, hardest races, and then, you know, pretty much when you do that, you know where you stand in the world of cycling, and that's what's different from last year. She raced primarily in North America, and you know, for the majority, the best riders are in Europe.
Sure.
And it's clearly several layers higher over there. Mm-hmm. So to push her limits, there was no choice but to ride on a big bad team.
There you go. Well, it's so exciting to see her on the bike again, and you know, she's had some great moments, and you know, she's so focused, and we all love watching her turn the pedals. And it's great that you know, if you're in Montreal and you happen to come to the PowerWatts Center, you might bump into Clara Hughes, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And now with the center here in Toronto, hey, you could run into any of the SpiderTech guys, or Steve Bauer himself, or whatever. So
yeah,
that's great. Well, listen, it's great to spend time with you and Chris and learn more about PowerWatts. And I guess anybody that's watching that wants to learn more can just go online to your website and get the times and find out more about the program. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, excellent. Well, we want to thank you for your time and wish you all the best in Montreal and Toronto and across Canada.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Can give an athlete